was quite the end to 2020 for the Dow Jones. The index closed out a tumultuous year, knocking on the door of 30,600, unthinkable back when it sank below 18,200 in March. Vaccine approvals and rollouts around the world coming after Joe Biden's election victory paved the road for its late rally, both factors in the bombastic start to the new year seen by the European markets. At the moment, it looks like the Dow Jones isn't quite ready to buy into that optimism with the same force. The futures only have the index opening 0.4% higher after the bell, an increase that would nevertheless be enough to see it set new records. It's a trickier first week of 2021 than the US index would like. Tuesday sees the Senate runoff elections in Georgia, a pair of races arguably as important as the nationwide vote was back in November. For tomorrow's winners will dictate whether the Democrats or Republicans take control of the upper chamber, and therefore have huge implications for the Biden administration's ability to get things done. And for the market, that means further COVID-19 stimulus, and namely the size of any future package after the arguably disappointing deal that was reached in December. Humidly, the Dow Jones is after victories for Democrats John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. That would result in a 50-50 split in the Senate. That's because two independents caucus for the Democrats, allowing Vice and Upper Chamber President Kamala Harris to cast the deciding vote, arguably freeing Biden up to more aggressively follow his agenda in the next 4 years, or at least the next 2 years. Beyond the Senate races, which could leave the Dow nervy until the results are announced, given how things went back in November, I'm not quite sure what the timeline will be for the results coming out of Georgia. There is a classic data path for the index to follow this week. Monday is expected to see the final market manufacturing PMI for December revised from 56.5 to 56.3, while on Tuesday, the ISM manufacturing PMI is heading for a more significant retreat from 57.5 in November to 56.6 in December. Wednesday's final services PMI, estimated at 55.2 against the initial 55.3 reading, is joined by the latest Fed meeting minutes, which could give investors further indication of what to expect from the central bank in 2021. Like its manufacturing counterpoint, Thursday's December ISM services PMI set to fall month on month from 55.9 to 54.5. Then finally on Friday, it's the biggie. It's the first non-farm jobs report of the year, and then technically the final non-farm jobs report of 2020. Analysts are expecting just 69,000 jobs to have been added in December. That's the lowest figure since the numbers covering April 2020, when jobs fell by like 20 million. And a reading that even in non-pandemic times would be seen as an issue. Back in 2019, the 69,000 reading would be cause for concern for the markets. Ominously, the unemployment rate is also set to creep up from 6.7 to 6.8%. That would be the first month-on-month increase since it jumped from 4.4% in March to 14.7% in April. It is worth noting, however, that since then, I think every single unemployment rate reading has come in better than expected, be it significantly or only slightly. So the US might actually end up avoiding that forecast increase month on month. But it's like I said, it's a trickier week than the Dow Jones arguably would have liked to open 2021 with that massive pair of Senate races in Georgia, and then a potentially difficult to deal with non-farm jobs report on Friday.